This one is special. Like I'm probably more excited, guys, than you are currently, because I don't know, like some of you probably know this man, some of you don't. But like I've been, stalking this guy, in a good way, like for a long time. I've been, seeing his business journey. I mean, he's accomplished tremendous things in real estate space and like different various asset classes. So I'm just very, very excited to have you on. This man, again, I'm just going to introduce you, just going to read a little bit of bio of his. This is Kay Singh. He's a Microsoft certified system engineer turned a successful entrepreneur and a multi-business owner owning multiple gas stations and convenience stores, a laundromat, a 40 single-family residences in the Northeast Indiana, and an investor in around 2,764 units. That is crazy. As an LP or NGP, multifamily syndicated deals at various locations in the US. Own various agricultural, commercial, and residential properties in India. Has 10 plus years in India, 19 plus years business experience in the USA, and always seeking expansion opportunities. As always, as you see, there's always interested in investment opportunities, networking, and partnering with like-minded entrepreneurs. So I'm just very happy, very happy to have you on the show. And I know it's going to be a phenomenal time, for me, of course, and for the audience who's going to be watching this. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, Martinez. I'm thrilled to be here and share my story with your audience.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have you. Again, guys, you can go and find more information at growrichcapital.com. That's growrichcapital.com for more information about what KK is doing in real estate business. So go and check that out. So without further ado, can you, again, bio, I love that. The bio just says a lot about you as a human being, as a business person, but maybe you can expand a little bit on that because I know you're coming from India. That's where you originally come from. So maybe you can explain people your journey from from leaving the homelands, coming to US, and how did you came across business and particular real estate, and how did you started your journey?
I came here in 2000 with my family as a Microsoft certified system engineer. And I lost my job about 6 months after I came in, after 9/11. So I had some friends who were in the gas station business. They offered me a share in the gas station business, and from there my journey started in the gas station business for about 14 years. So I kept growing in the gas station business. I acquired 8 gas stations, built a laundromat, the best one in Indiana, which is the latest technology we used since I was in the technology field. So, recently we acquired a banquet hall that's not on my resume, and it was kind of a deal fell in our lap. We had no intention of buying that, but it fell in our lap, and it was a pretty good deal and a very, very nice facility. So we decided to buy that, and we just bought it a week ago. We took over the business January 1st, but we closed on the property a week ago. So that was our latest acquisition in other businesses than the real estate. Like what I really call real estate. I've been in real estate since I've been in the United States, but I call real estate where we can get rent. So in 2014, we bought 33 single-family houses from one person, and then his son sold us 7 more. So we have 40 single-family houses that we recently sold. So it's not closed yet, but we have sold those 40 single-family houses. And immediately after I acquired those 40 single-family houses along with my nephew and my daughter, I realized that, and I started managing those myself to learn the business. And I immediately realized that this is not the way to scale. So I decided to start investing with other syndicators in the multifamily. So I started investing uh, in the multifamilies. So far, I'm invested in 10 deals, and most of them are, 7 of them actually are as a limited partner, 3 as a general partner.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, what you accomplished so far, because I mean, the continue for you in the business world, the journey for you continues in the business world, and I'm sure you're planning to accomplish some big things, even though you already accomplished so many, things like along the way since now. But we're gonna talk about the goals maybe a little bit later. But just for people like to understand, because again, you're coming from you're a certified Microsoft certified system engineer.
Right.
So maybe you can explain people like what got you interested, like what got you like you looked at the real estate and you thought like, whoa, this is interesting, because again, this is a completely different space, right? So what attracted you to even look at the real estate?
Well, I came here in 1997 to visit. So I went all over America to see. I had friends, and I was in business in India as well. So I had a travel agency business. I was an immigration consultant as well. So I had friends all over America. So I went in 1997, and I realized if I have ever decide to come back, I should be in the IT field. So I went back and started studying the IT, because at that time it was a lot newer concept. So there were like schools and colleges all over in India, which were teaching the information technology. So I went back and learned that, and came back as a certified Microsoft certified system engineer, and got the job. But accidentally, after 9/11, I lost my job, and when I got into the gas station business, I really realized that I enjoy being an entrepreneur more than a W-2 job. And I did that job for about 6 months and never looked back.
So and actually like you kind of was forced to go and look to some other options, and real estate, it just came up, at the right time. And like, I don't know if it was the right time, like getting laid off it was pretty no fun. Again, 9/11, that was a terrible thing happening, and there was a lot of scarcity and people were afraid. So it was kind of a tough time for the people. But you kind of went forced into like, your people, like your friends came up and said, listen, we have this gas station business.
Yep.
So that's very interesting, because most of the time you have people and you talk with them and it's like, oh, the rich dad poor dad, the book, or my friend introduced me and I was working. And but your story is very interesting. So
Right.
but you took really, like, you really dug deep into this, so you kind of knew this is the thing that was an answer for you, and you knew like being an employee wasn't suitable for you, right?
No, I had in my life, I had never had a W-2 job. I never worked for anyone else other than those 6 months.
Hmm.
So when I partnered with my friends in the gas station business, I really enjoyed working for myself, like I used to do in India, because I had always been my own boss. So I didn't like other people to be my boss. So I decided to get into the gas station business, and from there, we grew and grew, and we kept buying more gas stations, and I partnered with other friends and family to expand. So when I really got into the real estate business, and I got into the real estate business accidentally as well, because somebody from our community, he was 82 years old, and he had this portfolio, and he wanted to sell those to me, because he had sold them twice and they couldn't get financing, and he knew I could get financing. So he worked on my um, terms. So he promised to work with me for a year to teach me how to do it, because I had never done this before. I didn't even know what a cap rate is. I was very little knowledge of real estate at that time. Uh, But I had owned a lot of real estate in India while I was there. But the American style, the rents and laws and all those things, I didn't know anything, because since I had been here, I had been in the gas station business. So he offered me to help me for a year. So I took his word for it, and he started helping me after the acquisition. But he was old school. He was doing everything on the paper, and he was spending like 8-9 hours a day to manage these properties. And I said, that's not what I'm going to do, because I have other businesses. I can't be spending that much time. So I thanked him and let him go, and I decided to go by myself. And I learned from bigger pockets, online research. I did a lot of research, read some books about property management, and started managing myself. And I spent for the last 5 years, I have never spent more than 10 hours a week on managing these 40 properties.
Wow, because yeah, you just put it the right systems and people in place.
Correct.
So that's very interesting, because again, most of the time you probably know yourself, because you mentioned you just came back from a best ever conference. For people who don't know this, they're it's a great place. I know they're planning next conference already, so it's great place where like-minded business people meet and they talk real estate. But you probably know yourself, there's a lot of people, let's say multifamily space or single family space, this is all they do, like only single family or just multifamily. But you're very diversified across multiple classes there. You have the gas stations, convenience stores, laundromats, you have the single family, multifamily. So maybe you can explain, like, people, first of all, how have you learned all these, how to like manage and grow these different businesses, and why to be diversified in all these different assets at the same time?
Well, I decided with gas stations. So I was paying a lot of tax, because they were all business. They were S corporations, and I still had LLC that owned the real estate. But I was paying a lot of tax, and I was trying to find something to save money on tax. So I since I got into this gas single family business, I ended up paying more tax, and I thought there has to be a way to save tax. So I kept digging in, and finally found the syndication process. And it was like in 2015. And I realized that we can use the cost segregation and depreciation to cut our taxes, and that's what I did. So I started investing passively, and after investing in so many deals, I learned so much. I started attending boot camps and all that kind of stuff. So I learned so much, I decided to go active. Since I was managing these 40 single family houses only, so I had a lot of time. And my partners took over the gas station business, and they were managing the gas station. Each of my partner manages 2 gas stations. So I had a lot of time to research and learn about the multifamily. So I have a kind of a habit of digging too deep into whatever I do. So I got into multifamily.
Mm. That is very interesting, because again, you're diversified, and but you're dig deep and you get obsessed with these things, and you just learn what it takes to build these businesses. And it's very interesting, because we don't come across that often, people who are, again, diversified like yourself. Most of the time they're just focused on one thing, as I mentioned. So what will be this one tip, like this one piece of advice for people, because I know, like, real estate is very trendy thing right now. Everybody wants to be involved in real estate some way or another. Single family, multifamily, commercial building, flipping, wholesaling, everything, you name it, yourself. So what will be this one piece of advice for people if they want to start investing? Like, what's the path, the first step that they should take?
Okay, let me add one sentence to my previous answer. Business is business. So if you are doing one business, you can do every business.
Got it. Yeah.
because you have payroll, you have the financials, and everything
Yeah.
is same. So it's basically when you can do one business, you can do any other business, and you build up confidence too.
Yeah.
And answer to your last question, I would suggest all the newbies, especially, to invest in themselves before they invest in any property, whether they are flipping, whether they are doing multifamily, single family, whatever they are doing. They need to invest, they need to research, they need to spend some time educating themselves. This is most important, I think. We didn't do that, we didn't go that route, but that doesn't mean everybody has to go that route and everybody is going to get the same deal that we did.
Yeah.
But it's most important to educate yourself before you invest in any kind of property, because it's very risky. And especially these days, the market is hot, people are overpaying.
Yeah.
And if you don't do your research, and I see deals that don't make sense at all, and people are still buying those properties, and the sellers are asking a lot more than what they are worth because they can get buyers. So I would suggest all the, especially the new investors, to educate themselves properly before they take any step buying any property.
And those educational sources, what that would be, like books, events, seminars,
There
podcasts,
are
YouTube.
there's a lot of information available these days as
Yeah.
compared to 10 days 10 years before. Now you have books, you have podcasts, you have live events that you can go to, or you can just go on YouTube and learn a lot. And I did take a lot of attended boot camps and took some courses and etc. later on. But when I started as a property manager of those single family houses, I didn't take any courses or anything. All I did is learned on bigger pockets, read some books and online research articles and all that kind of stuff. There's lots and lots of information out there.
Yeah, because sometimes you can go Google right now and Google multifamily syndication, and you probably in 10 minutes you will get more confused than educated, because I mean
Correct.
there's so much information. And if I think the key sometimes, if we just narrow down to like who do we want to follow, let's say yourself, because again you're established in the space, like the business. So like if you have educational content, and people can follow you, and so just follow, like sticking to the one or maybe a couple of people instead of following what everybody says. I
Oh,
think
that's
that's good.
great. That's a great idea. And even one book. I think if you want to learn the syndication process, of course, you don't uh, learn everything in the book. You got to go out there and do some practical as well.
Hmm.
But the best ever apartment syndication book by Joe Fearless
Yeah.
is one book that will make you a syndicator. Uh, I mean, you can go out there and you got to do some practical. You got to go walk the properties. You got to go and meet other people who do this and all that. So you got to practice the underwriting. So, but one book can make you a syndicator.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. You can become a syndicator within 3 months if you are very serious doing it. You can do it, and I can guarantee you can do it for free. You don't have to take any coaching or anything, or hire some mentor or anything. You can
Yeah.
start from scratch, and within 3 months, you can become a syndicator doing the actual deals.
Got it. Because my second question was like, do you believe in a mentorship? But maybe we can follow up with something, because I have this in my head. Because again, if you see in the background, there is best ever book is sitting on my shelf as well. So definitely, like hands down, the greatest book
Yeah,
I ever.
I got,
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
here too.
Yeah, the Bible. This is the syndication Bible. And again,
Mhm.
like I'm reading it not because I'm active in the real estate, but because I'm dealing with my clients and my clients are in syndication space, and like I need to know what's going on in the business. I need to understand the business. So, that's what it's for. And I'm just curious, like I want to know the business side of it. And it's very interesting. So that book will definitely teach you how to do the syndication, but of course with the proper effort on the action, because people sometimes lack that. But what do you think about the mindset? Again, continuing on the mindset thing, maybe like what will be the right mindset for people to have if they're getting involved, like into, because again, there's a lot of business mindset involved. So what type of books would you recommend, again, beside the Joe Fearless, maybe they can go and grab and read?
Mindset is most important thing in any business, because if you don't have the right mindset, you have different limiting beliefs, you cannot do anything. Not just this business, you can't do anything unless you prepare yourself for that business. And for example, in gas station, there was no networking required. Rather, we were competition to each other. So we didn't talk about much about our vendors, and we didn't tell each other what we were doing, because we thought, oh, he's our competition. So you won't find much books on gas station, learning how to run a gas station either. And there are more gas stations than there are apartment complexes in the United States. But you don't get the coaches to coach you how to run a gas station, because it's a different type of a business as compared to multifamily. And multifamily is a networking business, so you don't have to go do everything yourself. You don't have to invent the wheel. You just do what other people have done before. So, and to answer your question, you need to have the right mindset to do that. So you should be prepared to deal with others. You should be able to trust others. You should be able to have other people trust you. And you have to get out of the limited beliefs that I can't do this. If you can do this, you do whatever you can do and let other people do it. And you have to get out of your comfort zone to believe that you can do everything in the world that other people have done. It's just you have limiting beliefs that are not letting you get out of your comfort zone and do it.
Yeah, great point. Because again, time and time again, I come across people who are very successful in this business, just like yourself, and they have, some of those have, like I just had a guest. They're gonna close on $1 billion under management this year, and all he talked to was the mindset. Like everything, like in business, that's what it takes. Again, there's a lot, as they call, behind the scenes work, which is reading the books, doing the due diligence on the properties, underwriting, raising capital, all of that. But that's behind the scenes. But like the getting the right mindset, like towards, because most of us are transitioning from being an employees, or just a few percent probably are second generation, real estate or something, even though you could be second generation flipping houses or something, that and you still might not have the right mindset, the right business mindset to do, like, let's say, multifamily business. So let's just expand on that maybe a little bit more, because I just remember now the Joe mentioned in the book that he said, I don't know if you will agree or not, but he said that you have to have a business, either business background, or you have to be a realtor to get involved into particular multifamily syndication business. Like, do you agree with that? Or you think anybody, they're working, like they are W-2 or just an employee, could they start, a multifamily syndication business as well? Or you have to have some sort of a business background to get involved?
Some people don't have the entrepreneurial mindset. And I have seen some of my investors, they keep asking questions, they keep calling you, they keep asking for more documents and all that, and in the end they don't take action. So unless you take action, all the education that you have got is worthless. All the books you have read, all the podcasts you have listened to, are all worthless until you are prepared to take action. So you should be ready to take action. I don't think that you have to have a business background.
Yeah.
I have a my dad was an attorney. He didn't have a business background. He was an attorney, and he did a couple of businesses. He failed in those businesses because he was not that kind of a mindset. And one of my daughter, I have three kids, and they were raised by both of us and raised in the same family. My daughter, from when she was little and in third grade, she committed that she wanted to be a doctor, and she doesn't have the business mindset. She does not know anything about the business. She doesn't want to know anything about the business. I think it's all about the mindset. And she always had in her back of her head that she wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
So I think it doesn't matter if you have a business background or not, but the mindset can be changed. So if she decides to change her mind, not go pursue her studies for being a doctor, if she wants to change her mind, I think it's possible.
Yeah, definitely agree. If she will come across rich dad poor dad, that might happen. As a
Well,
lot of people, you know.
she has read that, but still she wants, and she says, Dad, you can invest my money, or my brother can invest my money, but I'll be a doctor, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
perfectly fine, because I mean, if that's exactly what she wants to do, and she just goes just for that, like she feels that's her purpose, to serve and to be a doctor and to do a great job at it, she could be very successful. She can open her own clinics. Like she can be
correct.
very big in this space, because
Yes,
there's opportunity in this space as well. So
yes,
because again, at this day and age, like, we need professional people. We need professional doctors, professional surgeons, professional plumbers, roofers. Like, we need quality people that do the service in a good way. So that's perfectly fine, you know. So I don't think that's bad. But I know what you mean. Maybe you would
oh,
love
it's
to be.
not, but eventually, uh, in business is totally different animal than having a W-2 job. Whether you have a high paid job or whatever, I can wake up whenever I want. I can go wherever I want.
Yes,
When you
freedom.
once you have a job, you are tied up.
Yeah.
You are tied up.
Well,
So
yeah.
I think even if you have a small business, that's better than a W-2 job. That's my belief. That's just me. But a lot of people just still believe that no, W-2 job is better than having headache, because a lot of people think this business is a headache, but it's all up to them, and it's all about the mindset they have.
Yeah.
And that's how people, and you probably read in Rich Dad Poor Dad as well, that that's what we are taught here, to get good grades, get good education, get a
Yeah.
good job. But I think that's not somebody should have a mindset for.
Hmm.
You can be entrepreneur. You can do small, start from small business, real estate. I think real estate is the best, since I have been in the real estate and I have progressed so much in 4 years. I think if it started earlier, it could have been a lot better. I could have built a lot of wealth so far.
Well, I think you built quite a wealth, you know, for yourself and others, you know, currently as well. I mean, having all these properties, the numbers are just insane, you know. But I would love to fit it, like what you said. It's so true about people not having the business mindset and not getting involved into the business. Like, they can have it. Of course, people, like, they have to suffer sometimes. They have to go through the job and, you know, see, like, I'm just like meeting the ends. Like, they're always like, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and that takes some time for people to understand. Maybe I should go and look for some other ways. But I mean, you know, everything's learnable. People can learn and do stuff. So, you know, it's definitely possible. So I would love to ask you just one simple question. Like, again, having all these different asset classes, do you have your favorite one, the one that you prefer over other, and like, why is that one particular?
Multifamily is my best asset class I like. And the reason is it is very much scalable.
Mm-hmm.
You can have multiple units at multiple locations. You can diversify yourself into different assets, different cities, different states, and even different syndicators.
Yeah.
So I have my investments with 6 different syndicators in 6 different states. So I'm so diversified with that. So that means if something goes wrong with one property, it won't affect the other property. If
Mm-hmm.
something goes wrong with one syndicator, it won't affect the other syndicator.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong with one city, that won't affect the other cities.
Yeah.
So I think this is the best class to be in. And the good thing about this is we have this syndication system now. So you don't have to do everything yourself. You can just find a deal. If you are good at finding deals, you can just find a deal, underwrite a deal, and partner with some other key sponsor that they know how to do the asset management, how to buy the property and all that. And either you can just raise the money and do some other stuff in the deal, or you can do the asset management. So you could be good at one, two, you can't be good at everything. So you can partner with other people who are good at other stuff, raising money. You can partner with people who are good at raising money. You can partner with people who are good at construction, at asset management, or you can partner with people who are good at finding deals. So you don't have to do all the things at the same time. So you can have other partners. And another good thing is you don't have to be a partner with one person. You are not married to one person. You can do one deal with someone else, and another, if you don't like, or even if you like, you can go and do another deal with somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. So only probably in real estate you cannot you don't have to be married to one person. So
Yep.
that's awesome. That's interesting. So I love what you just said, because again you're thinking like you're a business owner and you operate as a business, because what you said previously, that people uh, they think like, oh my God, I have to do like all these different tasks, and that's why they don't get involved into business. That's why they don't take action. And because they think as a solo guy, they think like, I have to do everything by myself, instead of delegating tasks. And again, what you said, like finding the right partners and delegating the tasks, those day-to-day kind of a boring stuff, and just focusing on what you're good at. So I think that's very important, because I know there's a lot of moving pieces in syndication business, and sometimes people just get overwhelmed. They think like, oh my God, like I have to do everything by myself. But it's, again, like it's a team sport, right? So
It's a team
you don't have
sport.
to go. Yeah. So
And
please.
let me add one more thing. In this business, everybody is more than happy to share their knowledge and information with you.
Yeah.
Not in any other business, they'll think you as a competition. Here, they in this business, they think you are on my team. So if you need some help with anyone, you just pick up one card and call them and ask them for some suggestions, some advice. They'll give you the best ever advice.
Yeah. 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 Oh,
So
people. People.
this is the beauty of syndication process. So everybody is okay with sharing their knowledge and their experience with you for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the attorneys and CPAs. You can't call an attorney and not get a bill, but here you can call an attorney, find him on Facebook or CPA, call him and ask him questions. They'll give you for free.
Yeah, have him on a podcast and ask him questions just like that.
Yeah, and for free,
For free. Yeah, for
for
free
free.
content. This
Yeah,
definitely, I truly 100% agree. Like there's so many ways that you can learn now, and particularly like, look, we having this podcast show right now. I mean, you're telling your story, sharing with people what it takes to get involved into the business, have the right mindset, partner with people, like the steps that very important in any business. So and you're willing to share that. Again, it's Saturday, morning, afternoon. I don't know what time zone you're in over there, but you're spending the time with us. So you're willing to share that. So, and there's a
Correct.
lot of people like yourself, who are willing, because again, you acquired all this success and wealth. So I think, like Ray Dalio, you probably know the
Yeah.
hedge fund guy. He just came up with a book recently, probably a year ago, Principles. And before that, he wasn't publishing any books because he was just working. And now he's just, he's acquired so much like wealth and abundance, and he's just sharing with everybody else. So that's exactly what, you and other people are doing. So that's
Yep. I'm trying to motivate people that if I can achieve it, everybody can achieve it.
yeah, definitely. It's just plain and simple. Yeah, just follow KK on social media. Just follow his journey, and you definitely see. I mean, everything is possible. Everything is doable. And I know you contribute a lot to communities as well at the same time. So I just love what you do. Big fan. So maybe you can share again some of the personal, maybe business goals for this year, because this year has only started March, kind of brand new year. So just maybe if you share a few like goals that you're planning to accomplish this year.
Well, recently, as I told you before, also we were busy with this was a complicated deal that we bought a banquet hall, and this banquet hall is the best one in Fort Wayne, Indiana, actually Northeast Indiana, you can say, and it took us about 2 months uh, to acquire that because it was a complicated deal. I'm not going to get into this details of it at this point because it will take me a long time. But we are working on a few deals. We have a few deals in a pipeline that make sense. But I just want to suggest to your viewers to be very cautious. The market is really hot, and it's time to be very cautious when you do some deals or buy some deals, because I was at the Best Ever conference, and there was a debate between pro and against this topic, and the final conclusion was not to sit on the sideline, not to buy aggressively, to be very cautious and conservative underwriting and buying any of those properties at this time, whether it's a single family or it's a multi.
Yeah, definitely agree. So that what that means you have to, if you're brand new in the space, you have to find the right, people, the right partners, educate yourself and just find the right people. Because I think, like if I will get involved into real estate right now, which I'm not, I think I will pay the ultimate price, which is again losing money and just doing a bunch of mistakes, which is not the right time to do right now. Maybe maybe when the cycle is down, like like nobody's like buying the properties, and you have some equity available that you can go and buy, like they're like super cheap. But now I don't think I would be able to pay this price, go and make mistakes. So just partnering with the right people, I think that will save a lot of time and money. So
It's a seller's market. If you have any crappy properties that you want to get rid of it, this is the time.
yeah, definitely,
This is the
definitely.
time. This is the time to get rid of any kind of property, and I think be very cautious.
Yeah. So what is the ultimate goal? Before we're gonna go off, and before the last question, like, what is the ultimate goal for you to accomplish? Like, you just keep doing the business, and I know for a lot of business people, it's just the process of doing the business, getting the deals done, and it's all that. But I mean, because you probably have some people saying like, KK, when is enough? Like you already accomplished everything. You have all these deals. So like, why to keep going? Like, what's the purpose for that?
Okay, everyone has a why. There is some why we do everything, and my why is my son. My son is in a business school, Cali's business school in Indianapolis, Cali School of Business. Uh, and he is studying finance and real estate. And he is also doing an internship with the syndicator at this time. I want to make him a syndicator, which I think is a great thing to do rather than being in the gas station business or a laundromat business or any other business which is not as scalable as multifamily. So and also quicker than any other business, because you are using other people's money.
Hmm.
We kept buying a gas station each year since 7 to 12. So from 2007 to 12, we kept buying a gas station every year, but every time we ran out of money. And in syndication, you could buy 4 properties a year. As long as you have a proper team in place, you can buy 4 properties, because you're not just using your money, you're using other people's money as well. And if you have some investors, let's say you have 100 investors, and 60 of them invest in your second deal again, and 30 of them invest in your third deal, and then 10 of them again invest in your fourth deal as well, and then the first ones come back again to invest in your own deal, and you keep increasing your investor base. Then you have referrals and all that kind of stuff. So it's very much scalable as compared to any other business. So that is my why, because I want my son to become a syndicator. So I'm kind of paving a way for him to step on, and I will be on the back seat in about 2 years.
That is good. That is very good. And he actually he wants to get involved in the business, right?
Correct. He was
Yeah.
with me at the Best Ever conference also,
Oh, I
and
see the
he,
photo exactly. Yeah, I remember now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he works for a syndicator. He loves to be in this business.
Yeah. From judging by the photo, I think he has a very great because I seen him smiling all the time. So I think same
Oh,
as me.
he spent all 3 days there sitting and learning, and
Yeah.
he loves this stuff as I do too.
Yeah, that is very good. That is very good. So, again, for the people, if they would like to get in contact with you, let's say, about maybe ask a few questions about investing, or, if they're interested into going and investing passively or whatsoever, what will be those best social media platforms for them to get in contact with you?
They can get the contact with me anywhere on social media. I'm on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, and we have 4,000 members in our Facebook group, 10x Multifamily Investment Group.
Yeah.
And they can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me on Instagram. They can find me on Bigger Pockets, or they can go to our website, growrichcapital.com, and fill the form or schedule a call with me from there as well.
Yeah. So here you go. I mean, it's been a tremendous pleasure finally to meet you, after stalking you after all this time, on Facebook. So I know like this man is definitely, a giver. He just continues to give again with his time and, all the work that he does behind the scenes, with the communities and just jumping on a podcast, and he's just giving constantly value, helping people. So, really appreciate the effort, the time, and everything. I'm very happy to be in your presence today. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very grateful.
Thanks. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I know I did for sure. So guys, if you can, please subscribe to the channel, and share with the friends so more people can learn the stories just like from KK, what it takes to invest into real estate, how to have the right mindset, and how to build this wealth, generational wealth, and help other people at the same time along the way as well. So again, this has been the Money Show with Martinez and KK Singh, and as always, I'm going to see you on the next episode. Thanks.